Story Overnight, and it is going to be their opponent, Myotonia.
Absolutely, and what a fun set this should be. Two top teams in a tournament like this. You know, don't let tournament entry numbers fool you here. The level of play that we get in these tournaments very often is just some of the highest level play that you will see. And that's not me just, you know, cooling up to the Japanese players here because it's popular. It really is. If you watch it, top American teams. Olive didn't even make top 8 at this tournament. Olive is one of the best Western teams. That should show you the level of play that is present at this tournament. Take notes, everybody. Watch this. Watch the VODs. This is some high-level Splatoon brought to you by IkaSportsTV. Let's get into it here. Please, please, please follow the stream here. Follow IkaSportsTV if you like this kind of stuff. It's the support of everyday viewers that makes stuff like this possible, that gives the TOs the inspiration to continue doing it because they love it and they want you to love it as well. So we're going to get into this here. Please join us here for the final ride, starting off with one of the most fun map and mode combinations in the game.
Yeah, this is essentially the new Black Belly Rainmaker in that it can end so quickly. Both teams' goal is to take the Rainmaker over to the far left or right-hand side alleyway and push it all the way forward into the pedestal. This is a pretty unique map in that a push to 25 or 20 on this map is not safe. It's pretty easy to make it to that portion. There's not really any obstacles you face in that alleyway unless somebody's sitting there with a Stingray. There's only a car waiting to give the team that's protecting that pedestal any cover. So I would say a safe point is a knockout. And there it is, the triple bucket comp. 2 sloshing machine, 1 tri-slosher, and 1 umbrella, splatbrella to go with it. On the opposite side of things, they will have a sloshing machine and umbrella of their own to complement that, a rapid blaster, and a Tentatech as opposed to a splatter shot.
And we've seen the Tentatech come out here from Yamine this entire time. The Tentatech fallen out of favor after being one of the most popular weapons in the early meta of the game. It has fallen out of favor here. We've been seeing it a lot, though, very situationally in order to use the ink jets. And on here with this uneven territory, it gives you artificial movement. You don't even have to use the hard jukes because the territory, the terrain, the geography takes advantage of that for you. But like you said, the triple bucket comp, and we've said this earlier, I'll say it again, this one right here that we've seen is using a lot of sub power-up, or I'm sorry, special power-up. It's just the build that's going. The other one used more swim speed up. This is becoming a very common theme that we're seeing here. Stack 2 of them and stack 1 solely for Stingray.
3-down situation forced there by Myotonia, and they are going to pick up the Rainmaker just for a little bit and lose it there. On the opposite side of things, a Stingray coming out on the side of Story Overnight. That's going to find, I believe, the Tentatech. They're going to look for the Rainmaker as well, who gets backed into a corner, and they can't really do anything about that. That's the worst place you can end up with the Rainmaker, is over near either an enclosed area like that with 2 walls next to you or a corner, because there is no escaping once you get caught in that blast. We see one member there of Myotonia going down, looking for another kill. There is the sloshing machine for Story Overnight. They will not find it. So far, it's been a very back-and-forth game. Myotonia definitely looking for revenge. They do not want a repeat of their winner's semifinal set.
Looking very good right now, but right now Myotonia's got to be very careful. You could kind of sense there that the map was starting to slip away. They lost the bridge. A couple of them went down at the wrong time. A trade there might put this one to end. It does look like the pressure is pretty well gone, though there is still one up there. It's the Tri-Slosher trying to put pressure on. We're going to see a runaway. This is more or less a glorified punt. Not going to be able to get the kill here on the Tri-Slosher either. A Stingray is going to come out to kind of slow the pressure down. There was a lot of momentum building up on that side, but 43, like you said, hardly a lead worth sitting on.
Yeah, and that has to feel pretty bad. You work pretty hard to get up to a number like that, and knowing that it can go away in an instant is such... it can be such a disheartening feature, but you really have to have the mental fortitude of saying, okay, we have plenty of time, about half the game is remaining here, what can we do in order to push this forward? So Myotonia really letting the Rainmaker sit there for a little bit. They have the Brella sitting over by there. On the opposite side of things for Story Overnight, Melty Kiss making sure that that does not get popped. The Stingray also for Story Overnight coming out. That's going to end up getting a kill, but the Stingray counter is at the ready here for Myotonia as well. So we're going to be seeing a laser show still as the ink cloud comes up from the ink storm as well. Melty Kiss going to die with that Rainmaker in tow. That's the Tri-Slosher out of the equation, and 2 of the 3 buckets are down here for Story Overnight. So there is a chance for Myotonia here in these last 2 minutes to make it up over to those ramps. I think that's where they are favoring their push here. They don't want to go into that left-hand side alleyway. And why would you? If the Stingray is ever present, it can lock you into that alleyway, and you will be a sitting duck at that point.
And that was another unfortunate situation. They had the Rainmaker, but the Sloshing, both of those, gets the kill on the Rainmaker, and then just snipes the Inkjet out of the sky before it could do anything. And what makes this all the more frustrating is whenever they go down left, which is what they're favoring right now, they know that they're going to have to deal with a long, narrow straightaway. And what have we said in every single match in this entire day? Long, narrow straightaways are beloved by Stingrays. Wow, that rhymed. I didn't even mean it to. But the point is, it's very difficult to get that push. But they finally created an opening for themselves that's 3 down, and it looks like they might be able to go over this way, where it's a little bit more open. But Meltykiss coming in with the Tri-Slosher. All this talk of the sloshing machine, and look what the hero is.
Yeah, not only that, but the Stingray just absolutely stopping any potential push up that ramp. Meltykiss being a big facilitator of that on the Tri-Slusher. Now just going to go over to this left-hand side and try and keep it away from the members of Myotonia for as long as possible here. The longer they have control of the Rainmaker, the longer Myotonia does not get to control the Rainmaker. So they likely might just sit on all 30 remaining seconds, but it looks like they are pushing forward here into this alleyway. They're facing heavy resistance. They do have a path. They're going to extend their lead and get the knockout. So they say, we don't need your full time. We want the KO. So they will take Game 1. Congratulations to Story Overnight on a never say die attitude. They're not content with the lead gained. They want the full KO. And with their 3-bucket patented comp, they will take Game 1 of this best of 7.
Wow. Incredible stuff there. And 15 KA there. Meltykiss, I want to say that Meltykiss was the savior. Then Meltykiss was the one that also picked up the Rainmaker. So not only the savior of the game, but also the exterminator of the other team, the judge, the jury, and the executioner in that situation. And what a big statement, saying, okay, we took your best punch. Not only will we take it, we'll give it right back and hit the knockout blow right on your chin. Tower control Starfish main stage now, and I would not want to go up against 3 buckets on here. All this verticality is going to make it so difficult to get anything started. And of course, Stingray, we've said so much about Stingray. These are long, narrow paths. You know exactly where they're going.
Let's do a countdown real quick here at the request of BTM. I'm currently at 72, 71, 70.
I'm at
69.
74, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63.
Oh, I am way ahead
52,
here, so I will pause.
60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54.
All right, so I think we're a little bit more in line here, so we should be good going forward for Tower Control Starfish main stage. Definitely don't want to be ahead going forward here in this grand final set, but a fantastic performance by Story Overnight. Doesn't change the fact that they got the sweep on Myotonia. Myotonia is still looking for that revenge. They're not going to change their weapon comp up very much, but Myotonia will switch over to a Forge Splattershot Pro. Of course, that build that we have been seeing with the special power up and the object shredder. So they're going to be looking to take out that the opposition in mid here very, very quickly. It is going to be tower control. So again, the tower is going to go on that winding path. There's not all that much room for it to cover. So you can see all 3 of the checkpoints are very, very close to each other. You can get to them very, very easily on this map.
Absolutely. And you know, what a world we live in. Only shooter on the entire map is a Forge Splattershot Pro. No splatter shots there, no 52 gals, no end zaps, nothing along those lines. All there is the Forge Pro. Everything else does not fall into the shooter category. And Sloshing Machine is a really good weapon. Let me just throw that in. It's the Sloshing Machines combined for, I think, every kill that occurred on the map in that situation. Maybe the Blaster got 1, but making their presence felt. Here comes the Ink Armor. The pressure is going to be big right now, although the Stingray is going to diffuse some of that tension before the push can get started in too big of a manner.
Pretty crazy to think about how we've seen so many splatter shots and 10 attacks in this tournament, and this game does not feature any of them. It's all about the sloshing machines, the buckets in general, and the splat umbrellas that can lay down those ink storms thick and heavy. So the bubbles also coming out from the Forge Splatter Shot. That's going to give them even more map control and protect the tower for a little bit. They do have the lead at their disposal, so they're looking to tie this set up at 1. But we're also seeing just a flank around to make sure nobody is behind them, and it looks like somebody is. The Umbrella keeps shooting up there, and there is someone raining ink down. They're going to jump down to try and get on the tower. The Stingray has also been built up as well, as Melty is going to get a kill there. Looking to fire off this ink storm, they will. And it looks like Myotonia does get a decent push up to 46, but again, 46 not super safe. They're going to have to do a little bit better than that. It's a bit easier on this map than it is on the Reef to get a decent push, but you still have to work pretty hard.
This is the best Myotonia's look, though, to be fair. They're doing a great job controlling things, controlling the map. This has not been a battle of paint control. This has been a battle of kills. And right now, this Rapid Blaster combined with the Forge Pro is doing a great job of keeping people away. That is a big range boost. The Slosh Machine has some range, but it's not quite as effective as these other weapons at maintaining pressure from range. And the bubbles, I love the bubbles. Those are there for one reason only. That's to put pressure and help with the pushes. This is going to be the end of another push here as Melty wheels back behind and gets another kill. That Tri-Slosher still has plenty of range, everybody. Don't doubt it.
And the Tri-Slosher, again, being the designated person to watch over that flank. The second you get complacent on the flank like that is when everything goes away. You start getting those 2 or 3 down situations on your own team, and that's where the enemy can gain a lot of ground. So Melty here really trying to wait for anyone to come out from spawn. They will survive due to the ink armor from that Stingray, but they will fall as they got a bit distracted by the Stingray, didn't notice the Forge there, and the Forge was able to melt them down pretty easily. But Story Overnight pushing forward here again, but the bubbles advancing on the tower. Beautiful job. They're getting multiple kills. They will come away with a double kill on both sloshing machines. Those are 2 of the best weapons to eliminate when they're pushing the tower like that. And that'll be a fantastic stop and give them another chance here from Myotonia to push this tower even farther forward past the 46 mark. Because again, that's not assuredly safe.
No, not assuredly safe at all. And I want to talk a little bit about the bubble blower and just how it's a shame that only a couple weapons have it right now. Haven't gotten that much time to explore it. And that its more common weapon, the Forge, shares a main weapon with the regular Splattershot Pro, which has seen a lot more play recently. I really feel like the Bubble Blower is an underrated special, and as we learn more about it, it'll get stronger. Here it is again. Look, it's sectioning off that entire area.
And not only as we learn more about it, but as more weapons start to get it, it's only on a very small number of weapons at the present time. So we are waiting on more weapons to be released that have the Bubble Blower as its special. So I'll be excited to see what weapons those are and whether they make their way into the meta here, because I agree, when used correctly, the Bubble Blower can be such a huge asset in either playing an offensive or defensive role. It can be multifaceted in that regard. So we're seeing the bubbles come out again. They're going to be placed directly onto the tower. And the umbrella is going to try and challenge the tower right now, but the bubbles are an ever-present feeling, and that will take away the game. So beautiful performance there. The bubbles helping to facilitate that final push around the bend, and Myotonia going to tie this set up at 1 with a fantastic win on Starfish main stage.
And those bubbles started that push, and then they finished that push. It's incredible just how versatile they are, how good of a job they do. 6 bubble blowers coming out there from your mind. That was the T-Tech player that we'd seen so much, all that close movement, maybe just figuring out, all right, maybe it's only for this map and mode, but I have been getting boxed out, having to deal with all of that up-close and personal action that those Tri-Sloshers have been doing. I need a little bit more range. I need something that can fix this box out situation that we've been getting in, not being able to get in, and it worked right there. Those bubbles so strong.
Well, if you're looking for a map where it's not that easy to get boxed in, then Humpback Pump Track might be for you. A map with very few obstacles, as the middle portion of the map is very open. There's a large outer ring that basically allows you to flank from anywhere, so this is definitely a map where you want to be looking over your shoulders, and I see the change in weapon compositions reflecting that. We now see both teams offering a splatter shot. The sloshing machine, they're going to have 2 mains of swim speed and a special charge, so they're going to be looking to get into the action as quickly as possible and also build up that Stingray as quickly as possible. Both teams fighting over the zone here. It is just going to be a 1-zone map again. Neither team's really bringing anything too long range. The Rapid Blaster is all I really see, so they're not going to be using that outer lip to try and put pressure on the zone unless that Rapid Blaster does get their Splat Bomb launcher up. So instead, it'll be more close quarters aggressive action here. And so far, it's been Story Overnight that's been able to get into the zone first. Again, this Tri-Slasher staying back, smartly trying to build up their Ink Armor, and they'll jump back. Nice move there. They keep their Ink Armor, gonna wait for their teammates to respond, and then they'll have a big push coming back as Myotonia has done a fantastic job of reclaiming this zone.
And it's all about being able to combine your specials to make it in. You see one Slosh Machine already worked its way through. They're trying to put some pressure here. Wow, I cannot believe they both survived that interaction there at the bottom of the screen. I thought for sure the Rapid Blaster there for Myotonia was going to pick up at least one kill, but instead, Meltykiss has pushed this N-Zap all the way back here, getting pincered there, going to jump all the way back, being inactive here, going to try to rally the troops and get something to go there, but what a great job there. So much of that was facilitated by that jump out you saw there with the Ink Armor in place and letting the teammates come back. Excellent work.
So now we have a couple members holding onto their specials for Story Overnight. We see the splashdown now coming out. It's not going to get any kills, and in fact, they'll go down right after it. So beautiful job being done here by Myotonia to lock this down. Azriel and Meltykiss just sitting fervently on the zone, trying to keep it painted so that they can't give them a penalty, and it works. Story Overnight able to keep Myotonia at bay here, and that'll allow them to continue pushing without having to go through a penalty. They will lose their Tri-Slasher in the process, but they get 2 down. That's a pick I'm sure they would love to have. Azriel just raining this fire down with the Splatbrella onto the zone. They lose control over it. Will they get a penalty? They're stuck at 5, at least for the moment. The Inkstorm isn't built up yet either. It's going to be close as the Inkstorm's coming out from Myotonia. It rains down on the zone. They're stuck at 2. The Inkstorm's going to come out again as well, and I'm not sure it'll be enough from either team. That's 3 down for Story Overnight, so this game will continue.
Oh, that was a solid 20 seconds of just contest back and forth. Dig here, dig there, jump in, special here, special there. Great call on all of that, by the way. That was a lot of action to keep track of. Now it's going back the other way. This penalty has already been chewed through. Myotonia knows that the worst is behind them here. There's going to be some pressure coming here from the left. Now the specials are all going to start to rain in. Azriel already gets one. The Ink Armor's down. The Stingray's down. The zone goes back the other way. Now that big penalty comes along here. And Myotonia going to trade there. You saw that turn. Maybe thought that he already had the kill there. And what an incredible... I'm still reeling over what happened about 30 seconds ago. That was one of the most intense fights over the zone that I've seen.
Yeah, both teams just allocating as many resources as they possibly could. Both team members really just having to use their main weapon to splash ink onto the zone as much as they could, as they didn't have their specials built up. And then we saw one Ink Storm followed by another Ink Storm, and somehow they were able to hold on to it up to the 2 mark before they lost control. But now, speaking of this penalty here, Myotonia's actually gotten pretty close in mitigating it, getting rid of it. They lose control with 7 penalty markers still to go, which is not bad considering what they were at. Now their penalty marker rests at 26. The Ink Armor is going to come out as well with this N-Zap here, who's trying to contest the Tri-Slasher, and the Tri-Slasher apparently being the better of the Ink Armor weapons as they'll win out in that duel. They have the Ink Armors ready as well, but the Brella has gone down, and now that they've come back, the Sloshing Machine has gone down, so they used it. It's unfortunately not going to save the life of the Sloshing Machine, and they can work through their penalty here. Still time for them to get a knockout, and it's going to take one more team fight here from Myotonia to try and contest this zone.
A great pick there at the bottom of the screen. I think yes, oh my goodness. The Rapid Blaster got one and then got a point-blank direct to get that in the middle of the bomb rush there. That was exactly what they needed, and a lot of times these comebacks are started by great individual plays. That's what they're looking for. This Ink Storm very, very close to being out right now. Going to just block that, get it out of the way, say, no chicken, I have Umbrella. This is getting very close here. You see now, there it goes. Every time you hear that little shriek, you know that the Ink Armor, that the Ink Cloud is there. The Ink Armor also up now. A kill goes down there. I think that might have been the Sprinkler. Another one goes down. A third one goes down. This might be the end of it. I don't know if they have anybody near the zone that can contest it. It's just Meltykiss. Meltykiss has to take 1 or 2 out, do something. Meltykiss gets 1. Meltykiss gets 2. Is Meltykiss going to be able to get to the zone in time? No, not enough. Meltykiss did such a great job getting 2 in a situation where they were boxed in. But what can you say about the triple? 2 coming out of that Ink Storm. That's where 2 of the kills came, and then getting the kill on the Stingray that was all the way backed up there. Incredible stuff there. Wow, only 9 kills, but 3 of the most important kills in that entire game.
What an astounding comeback. We thought that game was going to be over in favor of Story Overnight. I cannot believe they had it down to 5. We're stopped for a bit, got it down to 2, then we're given a massive penalty, and it took just the Herculean effort of that Splatbrella to make sure that they could secure the zone. So Myotonia going to gain the lead in this set 2-1. I'm sure Story Overnight did not expect or want that. This is still a best of 7, so it's going to require 2 more wins for them to force a bracket reset. But Story Overnight was hoping that they could have the lead right now, and they would be only 2 games away from the championship. Now they're a little bit more uncertain. It's Rainmaker on Muscle Forge Fitness now, which could go very, very quickly. Again, this is sort of like a Flounder Heights map where you can jump down from that middle pedestal and get a free 30 or 40 points. The most common Rainmaker push I see on this map is all the way over to the right-hand side where that ledge is, but there's also the ever-present factor of that left-hand side ink rail. If you can successfully clear it, it'll take you to around the 20 to 15 mark. So if they ever get a full 3 or 4 man wipe, that's one avenue that they have to explore.
Absolutely. When I play solo queue and I start this map off, I always make sure to paint it. You know, one little shot, that's all it takes to paint it, but you can't let your opponent have that push early on in the game, because this is another one of those maps where it's so much easier to play defense than offense.
Again, the comps that we've been seeing making a return here, not too much of a surprise. We see Myotonia going back to that Rapid Blaster and Tenatech composition for this map. Story Overnight hanging with their 3 slosher comp, going with the 2 sloshing machine and the 1 tri-slosher. 1 Stingray at the ready here is going to be used, the other one now being activated, so layering them back and back. We see Melticus going down there to some well-placed shots from the Tenatech, who's now going to pop the Inkjet and make sure nobody can get over on the side of Story Overnight to that Rainmaker. Going to get 1 kill. Nobody else really over there. Going to try and find somebody in mid, but that shot goes a little bit high. Still a fantastic job of defending the Rainmaker as map control still sits pretty back and forth here as we see the dueling Inkstorms come out at effectively the same time. I think they're building them up at about the same rate.
I think so. And isn't that just such a great allegory for this in general? For these 2 teams in general that have just gone back and 2 Inkstorms to be activated at the exact same spot at the exact same time. Great stuff. I think we're going to see a little Brella on Brella action over here too. It looks like the Brella is going to go back up to the middle, and the Brella is going to come behind here as well. And the sloshing machine comes in and gets some help. Azriel gets credit for that. More map control going back here in the favor of Story Overnight. And this might be the push that they've been looking for. This Tenatech has to be very careful here and is not careful enough. Gets taken out. I don't know if that Stingray is going to be enough. Up to 29, that's going to get the stop. But as long as Melty is back there, you know that pressure is going to stay on. See the jumps, they're probably going to be coming in any second now. Got to be careful here. I would almost grab this and run it away as fast as possible. Looks like the jump is going to go away. I think they've cleared the area. Pretty solid defense. 29 is starting to get into that danger zone, however.
Yeah, this is the map where once you get pretty far up that ramp, it can be pretty devastating to try and make a comeback if you're the losing team in that scenario. But it looks like they've painted a good portion of this ramp. The Inkstorm also coming out. They have to watch out for the chicken, which gets blocked by the umbrella. That's the lead. Can they knock it out? And that will do it. Beautiful knockout. Unbelievable performance, and you can see just how green this map is. So after a pretty good push to 29, we see instead the counter once again as Myotonia is able to clean up this victory and go up 3-1 over Story Overnight. This is not what they expected after sweeping through them in the winter semis.
And Yamine did such a great job there. You saw at the, I guess that would have been the left side of all that action that was going on. You understand now why they went with the T-Tech. I believe that it was 2 kills that came in as a result of that Inkjet. And one more, I mean, it was 2 kills, but it was also a huge distraction that forced people to look the other way. Remember, those sloshing machines can arc up the shots and make stops from pretty much anywhere on the map, but they can't do that if they've been taken down. And right now, what it looks like to me is that the momentum of the matches themselves, every time a counter push gets made, it always seems like there just isn't enough control on the part of Story Overnight. I think that Story Overnight might be served. I don't want to tell them to switch off their main comp yet. They've gotten this far with it. They have a full set to play with here. But it does look like they're starting to lose the grip on the center of the map. And whenever it goes the other way, these pushes have been absolutely monstrous.
These are two teams where if you give them an inch, they will take a mile instead. So you have to be incredibly diligent in stopping any potential pushes, even if they're only at the 90 or 80 mark, because those are the ones that can escalate and be very, very potent. We see the sloshing machine on the side of, I believe, Myotonia going with a comeback build along with a couple of mains of special power-ups. So they are really going to be relying on this Stingray on this map, even though it's not very linear. There's a lot of map to cover on Snapper Canal, and of course the Tri-Slosher can be very good here because there's a lot of flanking potential. Actually gets a kill with the stray burst bomb. I don't know if they even saw them, but that was a perfect opportunity there. That's going to help force a 2-down situation as Meltykiss is doing a very good job of layering this fire onto Myotonia, but they end up getting the kill. The tower is still pushing in favor of Story Overnight. They will jump on the tower here, Myotonia will, to try and get something going, but it's an early lead for them. Story Overnight trying to still find their footing under them after that first game. They really haven't been able to do too much.
No, they haven't. You mind here once again on this pro, putting a lot of pressure there and a lot of nice vantage points that makes for a great time for this weapon. I can barely hear the game audio right now. All I hear is the wail of the Stingray. And Meltykiss up here trying to put some pressure here. I understand it. Actually gets one jumping down. I don't think that person Meltykiss was there. They have to move Meltykiss here. Okay, Meltykiss finally going down. I thought might be able to get a second one there, but really good position there on top. They do lose the lead, however, so I suppose Meltykiss's job was done.
Yeah, Meltykiss playing a big distraction role, using their sub-weapon, the Burst Bomb, just about as much as they've been using the main Tri-Slosher actual sloshes, which they've gotten a couple of kills just by chucking a Burst Bomb at somebody. And again, if you hit them with a direct, that's going to do 60 damage, so that only takes one slosh after that in order to get a kill. So we see the tower now reverting in the opposite direction. Myotonia really not facing much opposition as they are in a good position to take this lead back, and they will. So getting all the way up into the 60s and making it to that second checkpoint here. I'm not sure what the members of Story Overnight are doing. We see the sloshing machine hanging out, waiting for that Stingray to come up, and it is up now, which it'll get fired and actually take out the other sloshing machine. The splat bomb's coming out as well to just maintain some map control here for Myotonia, and they get it to 48, which again is not a super safe push, but for now, along with that double kill from the Rapid Blaster, they will take what they can get.
Absolutely, and every time one of these kills goes down, you know it's just another opportunity and get a little bit more of this left side. You have to hold it if you're going to win. Even if not every is going the distance. Great shot. Great shot there. Even if not every push is going the distance, as long as you hold on to that left side, you can at least control the flow of the game. We talked about that some. If you control the left side, the opponent has to come to you. They have to play defense. And a lot of this map is set up to where you can jump down on your right side, aka the opponent's left. If the opponent has control over left, that no longer becomes an option for you.
Meltykiss once again not getting an opportunity to pop that ink armor. That's going to be pretty detrimental to their team, as I'm sure Story Overnight would have loved to have had that benefit here. Nice job so far by the members of Myotonia to try and lock down this map here with only a minute and 45 seconds about left to go here. Azrael going to be the one to hop on the tower and just make sure they have something starting here, but they will fall just about as quickly as they begin that push here. They're going to, I believe, die to the Forge Splattershot Pro there, and now we're seeing the Brella versus sloshing machine duel here. They will get rid of the actual shield there, so that's a nice kill, but now they have to duck out of the way of the Stingray, which is stopping that tower from making any forward progress on the side of Story Overnight. We're going to see now the sloshing machine get back up on the tower. They've made it all the way to that second checkpoint here, and they have the Stingray at the ready, so they need somebody to come back and get on the tower so that this sloshing machine can use their special weapon and lock this tower down. The lead is taken. 2 members are down, but they really are hoping for a knockout.
Oh, that was a huge kill, and 2 members had chances to stop that tower. We're not able to do so. This is going to walk all the way. Point 3. The pressure continues to go. Another one goes down. Everyone just seems to be going down at this party. And just now at 2, not enough. They're not going to be able to make it. Yamine once again playing defense. And we saw this earlier. We saw a push that got all the way to...
No!
Wrong kind of bath to be taking with bubbles, my friend.
using the bubbles, only getting one off. I think one actually fell in the water there, but only getting one successfully off. The tower moving without them, and they will fall into a watery grave due to that. Only 20 seconds left to go here. The only special at the ready, there's 2 specials now, 3 at the ready, is those Stingrays and those Inkstorms that are going to be coming out. The Inkstorms onto the tower, and the Stingray putting on a laser light show as we enter the final few seconds of the game. 3 down, or 3 members alive on each side here as Meltykiss is trying to find a safe spot to try and approach this tower and keep anyone from getting it, and they will succeed in that mission. Story Overnight able to pull off a fantastic push all the way up to 2, not giving up after that initial 48 push by Myotonia, and this set will at least require a game 6 as we move forward.
That time you really saw the power that could come out from double. Lots of kills there. Meltykiss is going to be on top with K. Those 5 ink armors playing a big part in that. But the mobility that Meltykiss had there, it seemed like Meltykiss was moving all about the map the entire time. We talked early about the hindrance that Meltykiss was being in that early push. It wasn't the one that got the zone, but it did set the tone for the entire match, which is that Meltykiss was going to be a thorn in the side of Myotonia for the entire duration.
Splat zones on poor Mackerel again. This is where the laser light show comes into full effect here. We've seen several teams bring out the double sloshing machine comp, not just the one we've been seeing this entire tournament from Story Overnight. So I would not be surprised to see Myotonia shift over to that same strategy. The triple bucket comp can really work wonders here, especially because in the Splatoon 2 iteration of this map, it's a lot easier to get onto high ground. The sponges give you a lot more of an opportunity to just rain that fire down onto the enemy players. So with the 3 sloshing machine, or the 3 sloshing machine and tri-sloshers coming out from Story Overnight, I think they should have a good chance to make this one successful, especially if those sloshing machines know when to back off and use their special weapons, because it can be so difficult to evade on a map that's in such close quarters, especially in the middle portion of this map where the zone is.
Absolutely. We'll see if enough pressure is able to put on these sloshing machines to hit some up-close and personal shots. Very interested in seeing. It's going to be Meltykiss switching over to a shooter, and it's actually, the rules have completely switched here. This time it's Myotonia that has the double slosher comp. Wow!
Yeah, so both teams electing to bring in the double sloshing machine comp with a Splatbrella and a splatter shot. So literally the exact same weapon comps coming out from these 2 teams. They both know the strategies that they prefer on this map and mode combination, and now it's all down to execution. It's literally who can make the best plays and who is able to defend that zone the best. So Meltykiss jumping back and immediately getting back into the action here on that splatter shot. The Inkstorm coming out on the side of Myotonia as they're trying to lock down the zone. But for now, Story Overnight able to take that lead back and push up. Again, this is a map where you really don't want to get locked into those 2 back hallways, because it can be so difficult to move out of your spawn, even if you have a little bit of map control here. At that point, it's really down to just building up a Stingray and see if you can get some kills with it. We see there a nice kill by the sloshing machine of Story Overnight, and that's exactly all you have to do, is keep getting those picks, keep pushing the enemy team forward, and if they can do that, Story Overnight is in a great position to force a Game 7.
Absolutely. Such a purple map here. You're going to see as many of these Stingrays as they can possibly fire off. So much pressure coming in. Asriel sitting here, going to wait on this rain cloud. Going to have to quick, though. Opts not to do it just yet, and gets back around there. No real punishment there, and the zone still stays in the hands, and that rain cloud is still sitting up there. You can see on the Brella. Asriel going to wait on that for as long as possible.
Yeah, Meltykiss went down there, unfortunately. There's both Stingrays available for Myotonia, so I'll be interested to see when they use them. One of them coming out here, focusing on the left-hand side of the zone. The other one going to be also focusing on that side, layering them in. They're both focusing the same target, who will get absolutely melted. What can you do when you're stuck on a tarp? There's no room to swim away, and 2 Stingrays are coming right for you. So that'll be a beautiful retake of the zone by Myotonia. They'll easily get rid of their small penalty, and now they can start to work toward that 12 mark, which is what they need in order to retake the lead. Plenty of time for them left to do it. Both teams with 2 specials at the ready, including a splashdown and the Inkstorm coming out from their umbrella. Specials being built up very quickly here, it's important to note.
Nope, can't jump away that fast. And I'm glad that you mentioned how fast these specials build up. This is a big, long map with a lot of turf and a lot of points to build it up with. even if you don't run any special charging. We see Melty Kiss being pushed away by that chicken. We see it so often. Melty Kiss just going to wait right here, try to shark a little bit. Might have to do some moving there, waiting again. Contented to sit right here and is going to get punished for that. What? That's the fastest jump I've ever seen in my life.
Are they running quick super jump or what? I'm not sure how they managed that, but they were targeted immediately by 2 Stingrays, and they somehow were able to get away from it. So Melty Kiss able to sustain whatever they built up on their special. A penalty was given over to Myotonia, but they have the zone back, and they can start to work through it. It's not all that large of a penalty. Again, the chickens hanging out over by the zone as well, and this Brella, again, just trying to farm this Inkstorm. That's really what the main weapon is about, not only getting the kills, but just building up that Inkstorm that can help lock down this one zone map. On the other side of things, though, Story Overnight doing a fantastic job of making their original plan come to fruition, which is to get the zone and push up very, very heavily against Myotonia. Melty Kiss is over there by the sponge, Asriel's on top of high ground, and they can basically sit and play defensively, almost like a gargoyle, waiting for anybody to come too close to their monastery or to their church. So I'm seeing here a couple of kills here coming out as well from Myotonia, so it may not be over for them as we see the penalty tick down and we've entered single digits.
Not going to be enough. Well, I say that. Okay, no, another one. This will not be a repeat of game in this set. I thought I saw it go down to 2 seconds. I saw it stall, and I thought, no way, not again. This is not about to happen again. And apparently, Story Overnight had the exact same thought there. The double tri-slosher comp coming in very big for them. But you just see right there, the KAs tell the story. The top KA that came out of Myotonia was the lowest one for Story Overnight. So, it's just kills in that situation. You said at the beginning of the game, execution. It's all about execution. One team executed better. But now we finish on Rainmaker. Hallelujah. Moray Towers. This is really, really fun. I'm so glad this is our Game 7.
Yeah, I'm, first of all, so thrilled that we've made it to a Game 7 here, and Rainmaker Moray Towers, just Rainmaker in general, is such a thrilling mode to have for game number 7 because it's so fast-paced, it's so quick, one instant decision can immediately turn the tide of a game, so I'll be super excited to see how these teams allocate their weapons this time around. I would not be surprised if Myotonia switched off of their double slosher comp, as it did not seem to benefit them with the sloshing machine being beaten out here by Story Overnight's build. I'm sure Story Overnight, since they're running that on pretty much every map and mode, they have a little bit more experience with it and can dominate that pace of play if that's what Myotonia decides to do. I think they just need to stick to what they know, play some sort of blaster, play a splatter shot, play things that you know you can beat them in, especially that Splat Brella. If the Splat Brella can do what they did earlier on for Myotonia, this should be a win and a bracket reset for them. But if not, if they let the sloshing machines get under their skin and get those picks, then Story Overnight will prove that that sweep in the winter semifinals was not a fluke and that they deserve to be tournament champions for the Inkergalactic Cup 2.
Absolutely. And if we do get to a second set, what an upset that would be in this situation, given that this team got 3-0'd earlier on by a team that has just stormed through this tournament and only gotten better as it went on. They're looking for something big right now, but Stingray on this map. This might be Stingray's best overall map. The triple bucket comes out. There's only one shooter on the field, and it is a Tentatech splatter shot here. Inkjet going to be a major factor here. Which team is going to go ahead and take Snipe and Overlook first? Because you know they're both of them to make a push.
Yeah, pretty predictable comps coming out from both of these teams. Myotonia going back to their tried and true comp of one sloshing machine, the Splat Brella, the Rapid Blaster, and the Tentatech. On the flip side of things, Story Overnight sticking with their triple slosher comp. We're now seeing multiple specials being popped at the same time from Story Overnight, the Stingray and the Inkstorm, dueling Inkstorms, in fact, coming out one from each team, but it'll be one out by Story Overnight as they force Myotonia to go 2 down. The Rainmaker sitting unpopped as of yet. Melty Kiss trying to pick it up, but a teammate will clean that up. Melty Kiss has been pretty effective as an offensive weapon, so that's definitely somebody you want available with their main weapon. Trying to ink this wall, again, getting onto each grate gives you about 15 or so points. If you make it all the way up that wall, it can get you into the low 40s, which that's the hallmark of a decent push on this map. 40 and into the 30s and 20s is actually really, really good on this map. It's very rare to see a knockout, so I would not expect to see something in the 15s or 10s. Both of these teams are going to be very heavily contesting each other. Let's see who can make it furthest.
Oh, that's a big kill right there. They were able to get it up to 4, but if that kill had not happened, it could have been even 2 is still very, very manageable. It has to be said. You can get this just as easily as it was taken right there. That's a step. That is up to the top of Overlook and 2 steps in any direction. So very, very good defense there after what looked like it could have gotten a lot further. We'll see if they're able to tell you. See Meltykiss sharking down there at the bottom. Gonna just eat that Rainmaker alive with that Tri-Slosher. The Stingray gonna help put some pressure on here. Meltykiss gonna throw it like a baseball, but get taken out by the Brella. And now another Ink Storm coming in. It seems like this entire map, this entire game, this entire set even, there's always been at least one Ink Storm up. They're just playing in the rain perpetually.
Yeah, one thing I want to note for people that may not be as familiar with Splatoon 2, you may have seen there that one of the Rainmaker carriers for Myotonia tried to carry it on the ink rail. They made it almost all the way, and then they died to that Tri-Slosher, and the Rainmaker got reset all the way back to the starting point. That's the same way if you're trying to make a push and get some new numbers with riding the ink rail. If you don't touch ground again with your feet, you're not going to get any additional points. So you have to ensure that you hit the ground when you're using those ink rails to try and make a push here. Myotonia looking for an opening here. They first have to get some map control back. The game is halfway through so far. 2 specials currently at the ready, the Inkjet and the Stingray for Myotonia. Story Overnight looking to build theirs up. They do build up a Stingray. The Tri-Slosher are going to go down as well. It looks like in the form of a trade potentially to the Rainmaker as well. So the Rainmaker are going to be popped again. They're going to need those opportunities back. It's again just about execution and building up those specials. That was an interesting usage there. I believe they had their Inkjet popped. They decided just to jump down, that immediately reverting them back to their original start-off point with the Inkjet. So with a 3-down situation here, it should be another opportunity for Story Overnight to maybe even extend their lead, which is kind of rare on this map.
It is kind of rare on this map, but they are looking just that. They know that they can put a lot of pressure here on pressure up. The last one of them, though, is going to be Azrael on the Rainmaker. But they're all kind of in an awkward position. Azrael's going to be able to get some extra points here. They jumped down, I guess, thinking that maybe Azrael was already down. I don't know what they were trying to do in that situation. Azrael advanced that single-handedly. There was nobody even out of the spawn circle for them. 29, a much more daunting lead. And with just over a minute left to play, this is starting to look really, really bad for Myotonia's chances of coming back.
Yeah, Myotonia, you can tell, is trying to play a lot more aggressive, but they're getting just absolutely demolished here by a flying Splat Brella, as it were. A 2v1 situation is not one you're going to win very often. Azrael trying to keep this locked down. I know these upper streets are going to be very important because that's where Myotonia is going to try and push the Rainmaker in this final minute here. They have the Inkstorm popped at the ready here to make sure that nobody can get even close to this Rainmaker. Popping the shield, I believe that might have been even the Inkstorm that did it because they may not have wanted to pop it. Azrael looking for the final blow as well under whichever member of Myotonia is hanging out on their street, and they say no thank you. Meltykiss actually going to try and use that wall to keep the Rainmaker away from the enemy team, but it did not work. A clever strategy in theory, but they were not able to get the practice out of it, and they will still have 30 seconds for Myotonia to try and push the Rainmaker all the way up to 28.
This is going to be it. They're really only going to get 1 or 2 tries at this, and given how time is ticking down, they've got to be very careful here. This Brella's going to have to find a pick here, or going to have to find a way to get up the Inkstorm. The Inkstorm is up, throwing it directly up there. If they can crash in on Overlook, this might be the push they're looking for. Going for a huge flank here. I don't think they know it's there. The Brella goes down. If this Rainmaker can get up here, this could be the lead. But the Rainmaker's being forced all the way back. The Stingray not going to be enough. The Stingray's out. The Tri-Slosher not going to be able to get the kill. This could be it. They can go up there. I don't think there's anything there. The Rainmaker gets a kill.
Potentially 3 down. They just have to climb up the wall. The Tri-Slosher, I think Meltykiss is the last one around. They're going to play that last line of defense. 2 going down. There's only the Tenatech and the Rainmaker carrier left alive. Oh my goodness, and that will do it. The burst bomb going to end this. The sloshing machine not able to use their Stingray. And after a 3-1 start by Myotonia, Story Overnight winning 3 games in a row just as they did in the winner's semifinals and proving that they are the top overall team in this tournament, the Intergalactic Cup 2, going to Story Overnight.
How many burst bombs does Meltykiss has? I swear I counted 8 in that sequence.
Meltykiss is officially my new Tri-Slosher senpai, just to make that clear.
I think Meltykiss mains burst bombs and just happens to secondary whatever weapon they're to. Those throws were all so important. They had 3 down. They could have made the push. Meltykiss was the last one up. like you said, throwing just enough bombs to stall them. And of course, 2 direct burst bombs does get a kill, so you can't just run haphazardly into them, but it gave the rest of the team enough time to come out, and then eventually it was a few more bombs that got that kill. That chip damage does add up, but what an exciting way to end this tournament.
A thrilling set. I honestly could not believe it when Myotonia was just getting game after game after game, and Story Overnight was getting the early lead, and then Myotonia was coming back and taking it away from them. I can't imagine the emotions that were running through Story Overnight's head when they said, oh gosh, we're on the brink of being one forward and going into a bracket reset with Myotonia having all of the momentum. They were able to turn that around, took it one game at a time, won game 5, won game 6, went on to Moray Towers, and were able to get a fantastic push again. That movement up from 41 to 29, a fantastic extension of their lead, even though the other 3 members of Story Overnight were down at that time, and Myotonia was never able to recover from there. They never had the map control. Their best chance actually was in that overtime when they got 3 good picks, but the iron wall of Melty Kiss with those baseballs that they were just chucking at the enemy team, Myotonia could not handle it. They went 2 down, and from there, it was the end of the match. Fantastic performance by Story Overnight, proving that they are the Inkergalactic Cup 2 champions and deserve to be there.
Yes, and I'm glad you said deserve to be there. This was one of the stacked and difficult tournaments I think I've ever seen in Splatoon 2. So many great teams that we have seen beat top Western teams. Splash was second place in Platinum Cup, a team that had the best Western teams that we could offer. They got second at that tournament. They did not even make top 5 at this tournament. That is how stacked this tournament was. So to Story Overnight, amazing work. A triple bucket comp, almost completely forgoing shooters. I mean, what a meta we are in right now, where shooters can be afterthoughts, where you can run buckets and a Brella and still maintain enough map control to make things happen. Now, given these are all incredibly skilled players, but at the same time, that is one thing I never thought I would see in Splatoon.
Yeah, it seems like this meta is just laced with bees. We have blasters, buckets, Brellas, and burst bombs, and those are really
and Bestingrays.
And Bing Bays. So that's really all you need to know is just your BBBs instead of your ABCs. So it's a very fun meta to watch. I love the fact that sloshers are in right now, especially the sloshing machine and the tri-slosher. I cannot wait to see how these teams progress and how they do in future tournaments. I really do hope that these Japanese teams that did so well will continue to enter these international tournaments that feature teams from all over the place. So again, I want to say thank you so much to everyone at IkaSportsTV for doing such a wonderful job. All of the TOs, all the translators. Of course, U9 for carrying this one, doing a fantastic job of holding it down in such a stacked tournament. And of course, to all the viewers that tuned in over on Twitch.
And you know that I can't accept a compliment like that without throwing it back just as much. Zach, my man, your energy always spectacular, no matter the time of day, and we can absolutely say that. We've got some more work to do later today, so I won't spend too much time here talking to you, because we'll get to do it a lot later as well. Also, all of my comments out to everyone who watched, everyone who played, and of course, the wonderful TO staff for putting this on. There is not enough thanks for the work that the TOs in this community put in for absolutely no pay, hours out of their life, lots of stress that, you know, not all of it gets seen. A lot of this goes on behind the scenes, a lot of these conversations. They do this because they love the game, they love the community, want to see it grow, and believe you me, we will do everything in our power to help grant your wishes, because we want the same thing, you'd best believe.
Believe you me, we not only love all the people associated with this tournament, but we love this game. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you're not part of the Discord, please go join the IkaSportsTV Discord. If you're not following the Twitch channel, please go do that and make sure to tune in for future tournaments. You can find 9holegrains over at Twitch or at twitter.com/9holegrains and myself at twitter.com/shinyhunterzach. This is going to do it for the Inkergalactic Cup 2. Congratulations once again are going to Story Overnight for their championship, Myotonia on second, and of course, that difficult to say Kyoreteto Chinu on their third place finish.
If there are no comments from the tournament staff here, I think we'll go ahead and sign it out just like this. Don't go anywhere if you're a fan of Splatoon. An action-packed day. I know some of you watched Splatter Day Down Under yesterday, this tournament as well, and later, of course, Squid Storm series. But from all of us here at IkaSportsTV, all of us here at Inkergalactic Cup 2, we'll be signing off now. Stay fresh, everyone, and have fun in Splatfest.
야, 왜리 말해 이래 가라 이래 주위 유미리 가라 소 이래 가리 요리해라 해유라